Hello everyone, I'm John Steinbeck.
And I'm Jack London.
Before we get into our discussion, we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves.
I was born and grew up in San Francisco, California.
And I was born and grew up in Salinas, California, 106 miles south of San Francisco.
I am a novelist, journalist, and social activist. My most famous works are Call of the Wild, The Sea Wolf, and White Fang.
I wrote 27 books. My most famous works are Tortilla Flat, Cannery Row, East of Eden, Of Mice and Men, and Grapes of Wrath.
My beliefs of realism and naturalism. My books and stories are mostly realistic fiction of nature featuring people and animals. I believe my social activist beliefs come from my life experiences.
What kind of life experiences?
I have lots of experiences with people low in society and class. Optimism and individualism began to fade, and I vowed to never do more hard work, like when I set sail and worked on a ship and owning/working on a ranch.
I also have experienced life setbacks that now influence my writing. When I was a teenager, my father lost his job and then tried to start a new business that failed. When I was in high school, I worked on a farm and experienced firsthand the living conditions of migrant labor, which also influenced my book, The Tortilla Flat.
For example, I have witnessed animal cruelty in the training of circus animals. My novels Jerry of the Islands and Michael, brother of Jerry, inform people about this practice of cruelty.
I've always been intrigued by animals since I was young. When I was 4, my father got me my very own horse, which was inspired by the series of stories called The Red Pony. I was also very interested in the study of marine biology, in which I spent 6 weeks in the Gulf of Mexico with Ed Ricketts, a marine biologist, and co-wrote the book The Sea of Cortez.
Talking about all these life experiences reminds me of how I became a writer in the first place. I went to Oakland High School and I wrote articles in the school magazine. I desperately wanted to attend a university to pursue a career as a writer. So after intense studying to pass certification, get in, I was admitted. But not being able to afford tuition forced me to drop out and I never graduated.
I was always very interested in writing ever since I could remember. In high school, I used to invite my friends over so I could read to them. I also would write little pieces of work and send them into a magazine company under an anonymous name because I was scared of rejection. I enrolled at Stanford University, where I only studied intermittently to take odd jobs on farms and ranches. So I never received an actual degree while in college.
I wrote numerous popular short stories and novels. Did not receive a Nobel Prize like you did. Received lots of compliments from critics and publishers.
Yes, I did earn a Nobel Prize in the later years of my life. I tried to devote myself to writing and traveling, and through that, continued to challenge myself within my writing. After writing The Winter of Our Discontent, I received my Nobel Prize in 1962 for my realistic and imaginative writing as well as my good sense of humor.
While you were traveling, did you notice anything about how the environment is changing?
While traveling, I noticed that humans are destroying the environment, cutting down forests for the trees, contaminating rivers and oceans with oil, and the lack of care for animals. What's your opinion on this?
Because I'm a naturalist, I am against people destroying the environment and abusing animals. Nature is precious and humans are taking advantage of that.
Yes, I agree. I don't think people realize the effect they have on the environment. The farming practices in the South are harming the growth and production of crops. For example, the Dust Bowl had a major impact on farms by covering everything in dust and making it harder for farmers to get the standard production they needed. Like in my book, Grapes of Wrath, which gives examples of this time period.
That is a valid statement. But unfortunately, we're running out of time. Until next time, I'm Jack London.
And I'm John Steinbeck.
Adios!
Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me